Last week, a chart blinked red. Oil prices spiked again. Sanctions, supply worries, the usual geopolitical theater. But if you have been around markets long enough, you know that every headline hides a deeper rhythm and a deeper meaning to it. Oil isn't the story, it's the echo. The real story is buried underneath, quietly reshaping how money moves, how risk behaves, and where the next wave of capital will rotate. Think of the global market as an ocean. Oil is the surface, the waves you can see. Every few months, a storm hits, sanctions, production cuts, OPEC meetings. The waves crash, the headlines scream, and traders panic. But below that surface runs a powerful current, the one that actually drives those waves. That current is called liquidity, and it is what determines whether capital is flowing freely or drying up. And when you understand how that current shifts, you start to see what's coming, not days before, but months before. Now, here is where it gets fascinating. The same week oil spiked, another chart, the one most traders ignore, quietly sent a signal. The US Treasury yield curve, specifically the gap between the 2-year and 10-year yields, started to flatten again. When that gap narrows, it means short-term yields are rising faster than long-term ones. In simple words, the market is whispering that near-term stress is building while long-term growth expectations are fading. And that's huge because every time in history this curve flattens, something major shifts in how liquidity flows across the markets. Now let's tie the two together. Oil jumps when supply fears rise, meaning higher input costs, inflation risk, and tighter policy. The yield curve flattens when markets start pricing in those same fears, higher short-term rates and slower growth ahead. Now together, they will tell you this: the system is rearranging itself because it has no choice but to rearrange itself. Capital is preparing to move away from the safety and toward optionality. And when that happens, risk assets, especially crypto, starts breathing again. So where does this money go when it starts to move? Not into random meme coins. It flows towards sectors that solve real problems, the new rails of the digital economy. For AI infrastructure, I would be looking at Tau, Render, and AKT, the tokens powering decentralized compute. And for DeFi-AI hybrids, I would be watching FET, Ocean, and SYNTHR. They are building the bridges where data and money interact autonomously. And for restaking and base layers, Ethereum, TIA, and STETH remain the backbone. Now, these are the places where liquidity tends to rotate first when the curve steepens again, when the deep current turns from tight to loose. Now that's why I always say charts tell you where we have been. Liquidity tells you where we are going toward. Oil spike is the storm on the surface, dramatic, noisy, impossible to ignore. But the real art of understanding markets is learning to listen below the noise. When the yield curve flattens and oil jumps, it's not random, it's coordination. It's a system exhaling before it inhales again. Every major Bitcoin and Ethereum rally in the past decade began when liquidity quietly turned before anyone noticed. And that's the phase we are moving toward again. So if you have been watching these waves for a while and you're still unsure where to position, remember this: do not chase the noise, do not chase the candles. Decode the rhythm, understand the system, understand the deeper mechanics, the market structure that actually drives the prices. That's what I do every day. I study these flows, design portfolios around them, and teach traders how to see what the crowd misses. If my words reach you, you know where to reach me. You can reach me via email hello@afsheenjaffe.co.uk, And before you go, I wrote something for you. It's a free ebook called The Market That Breathes. It's not a trading manual, it's a mindset shift. It shows how liquidity moves like air, invisible but vital, and how every asset from oil to Bitcoin breathes with it. If you truly want to understand the system, not just react to it, start there. You can download it free on my website, because once you learn to see the market that breathes, you will never look at the chart the same way again. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and drop me a comment if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.